Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin. If you're new here, I am a third-year urology resident and I am going to talk about anxiety today. I'm going to talk about tips that I use to manage anxiety. So if you guys enjoy this type of video or any of my other videos, please don't forget to subscribe. Let's jump in. I just wanted to insert a disclaimer here that this is not like medical advice or saying you should not do other things as in professional help for your anxiety. These are just some ways I manage my anxiety. Just wanted to put that in there. I, as a type A person, have struggled with anxiety for a very long time. I think it really first started in like middle school when I would literally get the shakes before taking any test. I wanted to always get good grades to a point where I would be so nervous to take the test for fear that it would not turn out well. And I think it just kind of developed from there. Most of my anxiety has to do about succeeding, which I feel like almost everyone's anxiety is. High school, I actually wasn't that bad. And then college, when I first got to college, the shift in environment, the shift in how difficult the subject matter was. I was starting to delve way more into sciences that I did in high school, different types of sciences, and I just got really, really anxious and was pretty miserable for my first year of college. Got a little better until my fourth year of college when I was applying to medical school, and that's when I got so anxious that I gave myself hives. I'll tell you that story another day. But I literally gave myself hives and missed my senior year beach week because I thought I had leukemia. My first year of med school, I got so anxious that I convinced myself I had MS and I made my doctor give me an MRI. So when I say I have anxiety, I have anxiety and I have done therapy, I've done treatments. I'm not doing either of those right now, but I thought I would give you some ways how I manage my anxiety. My first method is exercise. This is so cliche and everyone says it, but I really, really think it works. It not only gives me time to get out of my own head and just focus on something else, like how tired I am when I'm exercising, but I really think those endorphins help to calm me down. And then also if a lot of my anxiety is success focused and study focused, or getting things done, productive focused, if I exercise, I'm always way more productive afterwards. So it helps me with my anxiety, but also helps me to do other things that help with my anxiety. If I'm productive, I'm obviously less anxious, if that's what my anxiety is about. And so it helps me to be more productive, which helps with my anxiety. I find that cardio exercise is what works best for me, but even a Pilates class or something that just calms down. I think cardio is good if I'm doing something after, if I want to continue to study after, but Pilates is good for the end of the day for go to bed. That's what I do. Second tip is, for me, a lot of times when I'm trying to go to sleep, I will have things run through my head and run through my head and run through my head, and that repetitive running through my head makes it so I can't sleep. And to help with that, listening to books on tape is really helpful for me. It used to be television shows, and I just watch Arrested Development over and over and over again. And it's I need something that's not novel. So not an interesting story that I want to hear the plot, but something I already know, familiar voices, familiar story. That's just something else I can focus on, but not focus so much that it keeps me awake, but also keeps those thoughts from being able to get purchase in my head. What I really like is Phoebe Reads a Mystery. It is a podcast by Phoebe Judge, who hosts the podcast Criminal, and she reads a mystery. And the two that I am hyper fixated on is the first two seasons. So The Affair at Styles and Hound of the Baskervilles. And I just literally listen to those over and over again and set a sleep timer. That really helps me. Kind of mentioned this before, but another thing that really helps with my particular form of anxiety, which is anxiety about being productive and success, is to do this method, which I don't know where I saw it. I can't remember, but it's like the 5-minute method, where if something's gonna take you less than 5 minutes, just do it now. Like if it's something that you're avoiding and putting off, but it's gonna take you less than 5 minutes, just do it literally right now. For me, I have a lot of anxiety right now. I'm trying to figure out like what I wanna do with my life, basically, fellowship-wise. And that involves emailing a lot of people to ask them to help me, like give me advice, ask them to chat, whatever, like ask them to talk about research. So for some reason, I hate doing that. I hate emailing people for help. So I know it's gonna take me less than 5 minutes. I was really proud of myself the other week and I just did it. And then I had a productive conversation today with one of my attendings who was really helping me. And that eased a lot of my anxiety because I was taking actionable steps towards doing something. And it was so easy, less than 5 minutes. And you can even parcel things out into 5-minute chunks. Like say you have to like write a paper or something, like write a research paper or something. Even just parceling things into 5-minute chunks is a baby step, and 5 minutes is doable. You can do 5 minutes. So parceling things out into these 5-minute chunks and doing 5 minutes, and then give yourself a reward. Like if you wouldn't have done it otherwise, a reward is not a problem. So do 5 minutes, give yourself a reward, and then you can slowly start working it up from there as you figure out that this is not something to be anxious about. But starting with 5 minutes is really, really good just to like get the ball rolling. And it really helps me with those little tasks that you've been avoiding, but it just helps them get it done. This one is also kind of cliche, but a clean space for me, if I don't have a clean space, it only contributes to my sense of anxiety. Not saying I can't be anxious in a clean space, but if I am anxious, having it be dirty perpetuates my anxiety. So just taking the time to, at least the room that you're in and the room that you're like presently occupying, taking the time to just clean that, at least tidy it, make it look to the eye clean. You don't have to like disinfect everything. But cleaning up your space and keeping your space calm, I really, really think it helps keep your mind calm. Making my bed is a huge one for me. Like I feel so much better if I make my bed, and I'm also less likely to get back in my bed and not be productive, which, as I've mentioned many times, is like the source of my anxiety. So just doing that and figuring that out and me making my bed really helps me with my anxiety throughout the day. Next is getting some sun. I know this is hard for everyone. It is also hard for me working in a hospital and being in the operating room, which is windowless. But if I can just get outside for 5 minutes just to get some sun, I think it is like kind of a reset. You're just like resetting everything. I do find my anxiety is worse in the winter. I think for that reason, just the being outside and getting the sun kind of like helps ground you to what's going on around you. But getting that little bit of sun, that little bit of vitamin D, sometimes is just that boost that you need. And if you can't get it outside, get a lamp. And it gives you an excuse to just close your eyes and sit and be peaceful for a couple minutes while you're sitting in front of the lamp or outside. But I also think there's like a physiologic effect from the sunlight and the vitamin D that helps. And finally, sometimes you just have to lean into it. You can combat anxiety all you want, but sometimes you're just anxious and you have to acknowledge that and just acknowledge being anxious, call someone, vent, shop online, like do the things that maybe are not the most healthy way of dealing with anxiety, and just give into it and don't feel guilty about it, because that only makes it worse. Like if you rest in bed for a day and then feel like crappy about yourself because you've done that, it's only going to make your anxiety worse. So just acknowledge that you did it, acknowledge that you shopped online, acknowledge that you like vented to your mom for 30 minutes, and then move on. Don't obsess over it. There's nothing you can do to change the past if you've done it, and you just have to lean in and move forward from it. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. I know some of those were generic, but hopefully I put a little spin on it that really helps me, that may help you. And I think a lot of people who follow me and who are like the audience that watches me are interested in medicine. And so I bet a lot of the anxiety is very similar and around similar things. And it's a stressful job and it's a stressful environment to be in. So I hope some of these tips maybe helped you. If you guys have any tips, please let me know. I am always looking for more. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.